Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
She wasn't getting the message, and so you decide what?
Well, Your Honor, I decided that it'd be best if I found someone who wanted to have kids.
But that's not what you did, though. What did he do?
He faked his death.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness.
Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something.
That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Scarlett Turner claims she planned a romantic anniversary getaway and says her ex owes her for the canceled trip after he ended the relationship by faking his own death.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Ms. Turner is suing Lucas Kane in the amount of $740.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Clerk, Deputy Thomas. Ms. Turner, you want Mr. Kane to pay you $740.
Yes, Honor, I'm here today because I planned a beautiful romantic 3-month anniversary celebration for me and my ex, Lucas. And he faked his death. And after he agreed to paying for half of it when I asked him...
You're throwing a lot at me here. Let's take this train in a different direction at a different speed here. So how long were you and Mr. Kane in a relationship?
3 months.
It was 3 months. And after 3 months, you had said you thought it was a good idea to celebrate in some sort of fashion by doing what?
Just a nice dinner and then a 5-star hotel.
Dinner and a hotel?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
And Mr. Kane, you were in this relationship with Ms. Turner?
Yes, it was only almost 3 months. It was going to be our 3-month anniversary.
Okay. And what was going on with you?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because of many, many attempts to break up with Scarlett.
You had just gotten started.
Yes. In the beginning, Your Honor, it was a really fun time. I won't lie to
What
you.
was the beginning? All of 6 days or what? I mean, what?
We had a couple months of, we got along.
Bliss.
Yes, you know. It was great in the beginning. It was everything I thought it would be. But
When is it not always good in the beginning? Right?
Exactly, Your Honor.
And then after day 7?
More like week 14, you could say.
Week 14, you started what?
Well, we had a little bit of arguments here and there in the beginning, but we would always settle it out, really. The big wedge between us started when I mentioned that I wanted to start a family.
Okay. And you're 14 weeks in and thinking, I may want to have a child with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you want children?
At the moment, no, I don't want children.
Did you tell him that?
Yes.
Okay. There was a conversation about kids, and after you had that conversation with her, what, you thought this is not going to work because she doesn't want to have kids right now?
I didn't initially want to just break up with her or leave her. I thought it would be a little problematic to stay in a relationship.
You just had gotten started.
But it was something that I wanted to talk to her about, honestly.
She said, I'm not ready right now, and you took that as, let me move on.
Yes, Your Honor. But
Okay.
I did stay with her for a little bit, and we...
Another week.
Yes, maybe a week and a half.
And are you admitting that you weren't clear in your efforts to break up with her?
I believe I was clear, Your Honor. I made it very clear
Listening to you talk right now, it's as clear as mud.
I understand, Your Honor. It's a very...
And when you... and how many occasions were there, did you recall, where you made this attempt to break up?
There was at least 2 occasions where I made it as clear as I could.
2 times you were like, I'm trying to get you to understand where I'm coming from. She wasn't getting the message, and so you decide what?
Well, Your Honor, I decided that it'd be best if I found someone who wanted to have kids.
Fair enough. But that's not what you did, though. Wasn't there more to it than that? You didn't just find somebody.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did he do?
He faked his death.
Really?
A day before the weekend of our 3-month anniversary, after he had committed to paying half of it.
I never said that I would pay for half of it.
Okay.
He never opposed, though. He never said, no, I don't want to do this.
I didn't exactly say that I would help. I had previously tried to get out of the arrangement, actually, Your Honor. My cousin David was coming in that weekend, and I'm really close with him, and I miss him, so I wanted to hang out with him.
Okay. Where does the faking of the death come into play?
Coming up on America's Court.
What did you do exactly?
My cousin David, he actually pitched the idea of faking my death. And at first I thought that's not going to work, but he actually made it sound like it could work.
And later,
Before you got to your house, is that when he roamed in Mr.
Yes,
Howard's?
he went on his lawn.
Okay.
He got lucky and he missed the trap.
The dog did.
Yeah, and then I stepped on it. I was screaming for Carlos for like 5 to 10 minutes.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Scarlett Turner, who is suing Lucas Kane for travel expenses.
He had no other way
That's drastic.
out.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Really?
cared very deeply about Scarlett, and I was very, very worried.
So
that-
I'll just make it seem like I died because I care so much about her.
You know, if
How
she's...
did you actually even, I mean, what did you do exactly?
Well, first, me and my cousin David, we spoke about it. He actually pitched the idea of faking my death. And at first I thought that's impossible, that's not going to work, but he actually made it sound like it could work. And again, I
I
cared.
know, you had no other way out.
Yes, I really did, because she kept threatening to do very,
This is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm hearing this case.
Me and you both, Your Honor.
Well,
Me
you're
and
the
you both.
one that I'm saying it about.
I
So
understand, Your
you
Honor.
and David are, so what's the scheme?
So me and David were going to go surfing a few days before the anniversary, and the day of the anniversary, I would call Scarlett and let her know that I couldn't make it. There was a
Is
bad
that what you did?
Yes, there was a bad storm that day, and she told me not to go, but I still did. And I remember the last thing she said to me before I faked my death was that, I love you. And I didn't love her back. So I had David tell her that night that we went surfing that I hit my head and drowned, and that there was nothing he could do. And she asked about the funeral, and he said it was just family members only, and hung up. I felt bad about doing it, I really did, but there was no other way out, Your Honor. She was threatening.
No other way out. And then you completely cut off contact because she knew where you lived. She knew how to get a hold of you. I mean, you
I actually...
help me make sense of this.
I will, Your Honor. I moved to Boston very quickly after that.
Oh my God.
Boston's a great place if you haven't been.
Okay. And
I moved there, and I was working volunteer at a port in Southie for some time, and that's when...
you got a new cell phone number and everything else too?
Yes, Your Honor.
You really went through a lot for somebody that you had only been with not even 3 months.
I cared about her, Your Honor. I mean, Scarlett,
Yeah, I love how you show how you care.
it's very funny.
And ultimately, how did you find out that this was all just a complete fraud, a lie?
That day, when he went out surfing, I tried calling. I didn't hear back from him all night. Then the next day, his cousin David got in contact with me, gave me a call,
Yes.
told me what happened about the accident. Move forward, I couldn't go to the funeral. I'm obviously just depressed, lonely. I lost my job. I had to go to therapy. I had to move back in with my parents because I thought that my boyfriend had died. And even though it was just 3 months, we were inseparable for those 3 months. This was the closest person in my life at the time during that period. So, sorry, I'm getting a little bit nervous and shaken up just talking about this again. But, so I was just scrolling on Instagram about
course you
6
were.
months later.
Yes.
And I saw an IG Live from one of my favorite bloggers, and I saw this guy that was a carbon copy of Lucas in the background with a woman and 2 kids. And I was watching it over and over and over again because I was like, oh my God, like, that looks like him. Like, But that can't be because I experienced all this and I lost him when we went through this already. But so I hired a private investigator to confirm that information, and the private investigator got back to me and told me that
And
in
just
fact,
that quick, was that you, first of all?
It was, Your Honor.
And just that quick, you had met a woman and with 2 kids?
Those 2 kids are not mine. I just want to say that first of all. Those 2 kids are not mine. I don't work that quickly, Your Honor.
I don't think life works that quickly. So.
Hey, yes, I met Sarah at a bar in Southie.
Sarah, okay.
We instantly connected.
Instantly.
just like us.
Just like that. Wow. And all of that's to say, give me my $740.
Yes.
Is that the total cost?
That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for cost of lost wages, lost time,
The $740
therapy.
reflects what?
The $740 is the half of that 3-month anniversary celebration that he committed to paying for.
I got it.
I have all the evidence here.
At the minimum,
No,
Mr.
that's all
Kang,
they
why
get.
not just pay her the $740, man?
And I had reached out to him.
I'm talking to him now.
Oh, sorry. May I tell you what?
No.
Okay.
Why not just pay the $740?
I feel I don't owe her the $740, Your Honor.
Because?
I've also been through some emotional stress, and moving
course you
across the
have.
country,
Oh, my
faking
God.
my death was
I
very...
need to talk to that Sarah and tell her to lighten up on you, brother. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the defendant. You don't have an agreement with him. He never concretely said to you, I will pay for my portion of this event. Your matter is dismissed. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
We can both leave this case just leaving lives we both deserve.
It's left me with trust issues and PTSD, and I don't know what kind of ruthless person it takes to fake their death.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
I find it very interesting that you gave me this article. Did you read the whole thing, sir?
Not all of it. Not much of a reader, not gonna lie.
All right.
That helps.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
Jake Smith claims his leg got caught in his neighbor's coyote trap and says he had to seek medical care after his ankle was injured by the inhumane device. Mr. Smith is suing Carlos Howard in the amount of $850.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir?
you had some injuries. Your dog got trapped, or was it you that got trapped?
I did.
You got trapped with a device that was on Mr. Howard's property.
Yes, sir.
And why are you entitled to this $850? Did you belong on the property to begin with?
Well, I believe my neighbors should be paying for my medical bill because you shouldn't have dangerous contraptions on your own property.
Let's talk about the device, sir, because you brought it here, so you obviously wanted me to see it.
So I wanted to show you a comparison, Your Honor,
Okay.
of what I used to use, again, back home in Colorado.
Let me see. Yes, please, I want to see it.
Versus, if I may submit, what I'm using today, which is a padded trap.
Okay.
He didn't want to let go of it.
He's like, let go of it. You brought it. Now, I'm not familiar with these types of contraptions. What would be the toning down
So
aspect of
this part where he got his leg caught in, actually usually is bare metal, but it was a padded form that hit Mr. Smith's leg.
He's
not
lucky
as
my leg didn't break.
Okay. The one that's listed here in my hand, is that the one that's more padded?
yes, and that is what clamped onto his leg. So his claim of an
Oh,
unsafe.
because looking at this one, the severity of the trapping of whatever it is, because I obviously not trying to trap people,
Yes, sir.
and I believe it was an issue involving coyotes.
Coming up on America's Court.
Tell me what actually happened with you, sir.
My bulldog must have seen like a squirrel or something, and he yanked the leash, and then I chased after him. He missed the trap, and then I stepped on it.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
America's Court is back with the case of Jake Smith, who is suing Carlos Howard for medical expenses.
You found when you went from Colorado to Massachusetts that there was also an issue with coyotes.
Not only is there an issue, Your Honor, if I may submit this.
More evidence, huh?
So this is a New York Times article from this year, 2023. Turns out I moved to the only part of Massachusetts that has a coyote problem. And they had to call in the U.S. Department of Agriculture. You can read it yourself, Your Honor. That's the New York Times.
Well, actually, you know what? I am familiar with this article. There's concern about animals being destroyed and injured and killed because the coyotes are being more and more aggressive.
Yes.
Tell me what actually happened with you, sir.
My bulldog must have seen like a squirrel or something, and he yanked the leash off my hand.
Did you lose control of the leash?
Correct. And he got lucky, and he missed the trap.
The dog did.
Yeah.
Your bulldog.
And then I stepped on it. And then I was sat there and I was screaming for Carlos for like 5-10 minutes, so he can help me.
Because you couldn't
take
get out of it.
No. It's almost like a two-man job where it's
You have to
you have to pry it open. Yeah.
At some point, you come out.
Yeah.
Take
Yes,
it from
Your
there.
Honor.
And then what?
I helped him. I said I was as surprised as anyone. I said, at first, I'm surprised he's on my property, but I see Bruno running around, and I said, hey, let me help you out of that right away. And he didn't have anything to say about it then.
But what happened the next day?
The next day, I had to go to the urgent care because my ankle looked like a water balloon.
I find it very interesting that you gave me this article. Did you read the whole thing, sir?
Not all of it. Not much of a reader. Not gonna lie.
All right.
That helps.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
Anything else, sir?
Oh yeah, it's actually illegal to have traps in the state of Massachusetts.
Show me. Did you know that, Mr. Howard?
I had no idea, sir.
It says Massachusetts offers fewer checks on the coyote population than many other places.
Which is why I needed the traps.
And a ban on traps based on a referendum from 1996. So for you to give me an article that you haven't even read, it doesn't present the strongest representation on your behalf. I would never call someone stupid. Some people, however, are stupid adjacent. You gave me the article that says this has been in effect since 1996.
Might need to go back to Colorado.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the plaintiff in this case. You can't put traps on your property. You will pay this man $850, and maybe on the way out of here, you need to go visit a library. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff. That's it. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $850.
I'm sorry about the trap. I still think you should control your dog a little better, but what the judge's decision is the judge's decision.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry for being on your property.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.